Hi, welcome to I Unlimited, committed to helping you find your best self and inner peace. Hello, fellow travelers. And it happens to be the new year right now, but I don't know when you're hearing this. But I'm working today with the Guardian Angel Messages deck by Radleigh Valentine. And this is the card I saw again. The Two of Earth. Look at this. Balance, prioritization, playfulness. And you see this child balancing on the railing. Completely unconcerned that if she doesn't stay on this rail, she's either going into the water or she's landing on this hard surface. She's just in the moment, balancing, completely trusting, confident. And the message I got for this is, as we look into this new year, as we're looking forward, as I am looking forward, it's so important to have balance, right? Even balance in what we prioritize, and prioritizing playfulness. Look at that progression. Have balance, prioritize, bring playfulness. Right? We have to include this. I don't know about you. I know that I do have a tendency, that, this is very significant. Like you have to be, very thoughtful about it, very almost dour, to be just very significant and meaningful, and don't make light of things, especially or even including around spirituality, right? I don't know if you've gone through this, you know what I'm talking about. But I've said it over and over and over. Anything too far to one side is harmful. We need the balance, right? So even bringing prioritization and playfulness, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with bringing lightheartedness, playfulness, fun into spirituality? It doesn't mean it isn't meaningful. It doesn't mean it isn't a significant things in our life. It just doesn't have to be so serious and so dour, So that was very powerful. I really felt like I was being spoken to directly. Find your inner child again, play, just have that moment of fun and enjoyment, right? But I have to be mindful. I have to prioritize bringing balance, which includes playfulness, bringing fun and meaning. Why does it have to be either or? Can't it be both, right? Then the very next card is this one. I can't really see the screen too well from here, but I'm going to hope that this is right. So transformation, realization, life change, liberation. Now look at the difference. This one is light. The sun is shining. The butterflies are out, right? That boat is sailing away. It's like, you don't need to be in the lifeboat. Don't worry about it. Trust. You're okay. You're good. You're good. This one, it's all dark, with the lightning flashing. And this is that tower of significance, of heaviness, of dour. And what I mean by that is that feeling like, I've got to get it right. I've got to show, I've got to prove, and if I don't, then what? Then something bad's going to happen. Then I'm not going to be rewarded. All that doom and gloom, negative thinking, right? And so I can realize this is what I've built for myself. I'm inside there, right? But the time for being in there is running out. I'm realizing it. That's what's important. I don't have to be in there anymore. As I bring balance, as I bring playfulness, this transforms, right? I will go through a life change and be liberated as we realize that we're trapped in this stone, hard, cold, dark place, as we balance, as we reprioritize, as we bring joy, happiness, playfulness, this will transform. It is life-changing, and we will be liberated. And then, see if I can do this card. And literally telling me, like, yes, you're getting it. You're learning, right? I don't have to worry about if other people are accepting or agreeing, or if this meets their standards of how I should act or conduct myself. I already belong to the divine family. I can create new traditions for myself and around myself, right? And bringing that reminder, not only do we have this within us, we have this all around us. And that lightheartedness, playfulness, right? The power. This cannot overtake this. So this is always going to be there as the foundation, that foundation of belonging. That's always there for us. Always holding us together, always lifting us up, always guiding and protecting. That's all we have to turn to. That's all we have to restore ourselves to. And they reminded me as soon as this card came up. The other day I was in ordering a sofa. And I had decided, because you order the components of it. So once I'd finally decided the configuration, how I wanted the sofa shaped, boom, I knew it. Okay, great. And I looked at the prices, and I didn't love spending that much money, but it's like, okay, all right, I can do that. And then I go to order it, and of course, the covering I wanted it in, and the color, nothing was doing it. And it's so hard, isn't it, to pick out those little swatches, because you don't know what the actual piece is going to look like and in your home. But there were some that I already know, if I'm looking at the swatch going, that I'm going to look at this big old sofa for years and just be like, ugh, I'm sorry I did it. So of course, the only covering that I liked was the most expensive one, right? And it added a lot more to the price than I was prepared for. And it just made me kind of go like, what? And I'm sitting in there and I'm just really uncomfortable with that. But I was really comfortable with what I was getting, that I was getting the right piece, and that I knew that was what I pictured, that was what I envisioned. And so sitting right there, and I asked the young lady, how much longer is this sale on? Because it was 25% off. That's pretty significant. She said, today's the last day. Well, poo. So sitting right there, and I said, okay, heaven, you tell me. Well, the response I got, playfulness, was the divine laughing at me. Now, this is not a one and only occurrence of the divine laughing at me. But what they said to me is, you already know what to do. Why are you asking? And I'm like, well, this is, look, what you're choosing is the right thing for you. You're just freaked out about the money. You just don't like that number. And that's true. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And they said, doesn't matter. Just go ahead. And they said, we don't care about the money. I'm like, well, I'm still here in human form. I have to care about the money. And they just kept laughing at me. And they're like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to like it. Keep moving forward. And so, in trust on there, it's like, okay, I will, because I have this foundation. I turn to them. I get in partnership here, right? And I balance, so yeah, the human part of me wanted to freak out and run, which there's nothing wrong with being responsible financially, fiscally. And there certainly is an argument like, well, you shouldn't have been putting that money down at all. And again, it's about balancing what will uplift us, what will nurture us, right? What will help us to rise and move forward with the resources, right? Because if you're then, overspending and you can't afford it, in which I can, I just didn't want to, like for a sofa. I don't want to spend my money on stuff like that, right? But you have to balance, that if you're getting a sofa, but you can't put food in your mouth, that's out of balance, right? So that kind of a thing. And so they were letting me know, like, you're fine. It's just, I don't feel I can justify, who, me? And believe me, it's not like this thing is $10,000. It's not. But it's just, it gets back to that, almost feeling like I'm not really an adult. Buying a sofa for a few $1,000s is a big adult thing. And so it kind of threw me back. But I could always go back to the foundation and trust and move forward, knowing that, okay, yeah, I'm going to balance buying it, trusting, right, with also being responsible and making sure I'm watching the money and generating, getting that money back into the bank, right? So they were reminding me of this to share it with you. So somebody out there needed to hear that story, and I hope it made a difference. And I hope when that sofa comes in, I love it. That's going to make me feel that much more confident in the choice I made. But the nice thing is, once I made the decision and I went forward, I didn't sit there going, oh my God, did I do the right thing? Oh my God, oh. No, it was just done. And it was very clear, like what they said, I didn't like that number. I didn't, it makes me scared from childhood. Will I have enough? Can I take care of myself throughout my life? And so it just triggered an old fear, and I was able to get in communication and know, and it really put it to bed. Would I have loved them to say, you know what? We have a special going on and we'll sell you this for $150. Yes, I would have loved it. But they didn't. And the truth of the matter is, once I was able to have the partnership, have the communication, hear the input, and feel like, okay, what am I feeling? Where does this feeling belong? It's an old trigger. Okay, what's going on? And then it truly was able to be let go. And I can look forward freely to having the sofa delivered. Not like, oh my God, I hope, just freely and trusting. And there's an old thing also. Am I going to like it? Oh my God, what if I don't? What if, no. They said, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to like it. So guess what? That's where I'm living. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to like it. And as always, the key, as I was going through all that, to break down some of those old traditions that hold me trapped, right? Those fears. What was the key? Breathe. As we breathe shallowly, as we hold our breath, we tense. When you hold your breath, you tense. And when you do, you're locking that feeling of fear into your system, your cells, everything, the electrical system. So by breathing is when I can also hear. Now, I'm not saying, breathe until you hear the answer you want, because it doesn't always work that way. Breathe till you hear the answer, whatever it is, right? And if you're unclear why that answer, ask that question. Help me understand this. Sometimes I hear, you're not going to understand it right now. Just move forward that direction. Okay, right? But we have to breathe. As we breathe, you can't be tense while you're breathing deeply. You can't. On the inhale, as you're holding it, you might feel a tension, but then as you release, let the tension go. So let's start training ourselves to sense and feel the difference so that we can live more and more and more of our time in a state of serenity. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual serenity. And that comes from being able to flow. Right? You'll feel the flow in your body, but when we tense up, that flow stops. We're restricting everything. So, as always, Breathe deeply and easily. Don't make it a big thing that you're stressing and tensing and trying to get it right. Count to 4, 5, 6 on the inhale as much as you can. Try to feel yourself expanding as you inhale. Crack that shell around you off. Let it fall away. Hold it for 1 or 2 and then release gently to that same count of 4 or 5 or 6. And as you do, feel yourself relax. Do it again. And as you're inhaling, try to picture every single cell in your body separating, moving out a little bit farther. Create a little space between every cell. And as you exhale, feel everything relax. And then as you're inhaling, picture every cell separated. Now there's space in between each one. As you are inhaling, bring in that divine light, that divine energy that now has freedom to flow through. It's going to restore every space and cell in your being. And as it's doing that, feel it blow away. And then as you're exhaling, finish blowing away anything that got stuck that doesn't belong. Any burden, fear, anything dark, heavy. Just if you did that just 3 times consciously and then try to let it be that way. Do it as many times. But you can do this within seconds, 150 times during the day. Imagine how you'll transform. If every time you felt yourself tensing up, getting negative, just three really deep, conscious, aware breaths. Because if you just did that with me now, you feel different. Right? You feel more connected to the divine, more grounded, more free, more clear. And as you blow all that human garbage that's built up out, you'll hear the divine more clearly. So that's what I'm working on in the new year, bringing the sense of play. I always do a review of the year that I'm leaving so I can end it powerfully, thank it for all the good stuff that was there, acknowledge what I didn't get accomplished that I had hoped to, acknowledge the things I did that I don't wish to repeat. But again, acknowledge them, not necessarily like, who cares if I created a big mess for other people in their lives, but to not be so significant and say, it means I'm a terrible person. Oh, I'm starting from down in this pit now. No, we got to bring balance. This is what happened. This is what didn't happen. This is what I liked. This is what I didn't like. This is what I'm looking to create more of, right? The playfulness, the balance, the transformation. So, I hope you have a playfulness in your life. I hope you have a lightheartedness about the days to come and that you intend to dance your way through them. And until next time, you keep shining your light. I hope this video helped you rise higher and shine brighter. Keep going. Invest just a few minutes here with me each day, and you'll see your happiness, fulfillment, and inner peace grow. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe to this channel so others can find their best selves in inner peace too.